What's up, guys? Ncaa 31 here. I've been talking with people in the leagues that I participate in. The beautiful thing about the leagues that I play in is that several of the guys are guys like I am, or guys like me, people who have played the game at the high school and/or college level, have coached the game at the high school level, youth level, college level, and share a passion for the strategic X's and O's side of football, offensively, defensively, what have you. I talk about a lot of real life concepts with these guys, and we exchange ideas with each other as far as what the games can improve on, and how to implement what we either used to play in or coach or teach into the game in an online environment as best you can. Um, a guy by the name of, I can't remember his name, BK something. He did a goods video about the game as far as um, what makes a simulation game or a simulation game. And one of the things that he stressed, and I agree, is that at the end of the day, you're playing a video game, you know. But keeping that in mind, um, we try to have fun replicating things that we have either done, do, or know into the game as best you can in the video game environment, and going online and pounding people into sand with it. But today I want to talk about Cover 4. I want to talk about what Cover 4 is ideally designed to do, how it's done in the game, and what the game needs to do, or what EA needs to do to make Cover 4 and various other coverages and schemes a lot more effective, 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 and authentic than it is currently. Cover 4 isn't, bad. It's just not the way it's implemented or played in real life, and it's very limited in its purposes. Like, here's your basic, cover 4 out of 4-3. You have 4 deep, corners and 2 safeties, middle linebacker. In the hook area, you have 2 curl flat defenders, and the way the game replicates cover 4 basically, treats it as a prevent defense. You can do things with your secondary, like, audible your zones to the middle and all that good stuff, to the sidelines. You can hot route the guy to the, deep, or to the hooks rather. That's what it looks like when you audible your zones to the sideline, to the right, to the left, based on tendencies and formation and all that good stuff. If you want to protect the seams, you want to do that, or to protect against the deep post, you want to do that. And unfortunately, like I said, the game, treats cover 4 as a almost a prevent defense, not a real effective one at that, because what happens? You see your curl flat defenders get sucked in by shallow routes and leave the deep curl flat areas open at times too frequently. How many times you've seen that before? Your guy is dropping back and he pulls down and leaves a vacated area for no reason on a long yardage situation. Um, And for that reason, it's one of my least favorite defensive calls in the game. But in real life, it's one of my favorite. When I played, we played mostly cover 3 and cover 4. And the reason why I like cover 4 so much as a base defensive call is that it allows you to be very aggressive with your safeties, and at the same time be relatively safe in coverage. It allows for example, you can roll your safety into the box here like so for an 8-man front, like so, and you can roll him like so. This safety becomes your force player. This safety becomes your cutback defender, and the linebackers have their customary responsibilities: A gap, B, B, and C, what have you. And it allows you to do some very dynamic and creative things. If you are really blessed and gifted at safety and have a rangy center fielder, you can play 9 in the box, like so. The Pittsburgh Steelers do this all the time. Out of either cover 4 or cover 6, Troy Polamalu is such a gifted athlete. They roll him into the box and he either blitzes and they, send another guy into that vacated area in his place. And they do all kinds of creative things. He can either blitz, he can play run support, he can take this tight end man-to-man, and really cover 4 allows you to play matchup zone coverage. For example, if this tight end, on my right goes down the seam, this becomes bracket man coverage between the strong safety and the middle linebacker, with this safety guarding the seam here. These 2 corners are basically in a matchup zone. They'll take any vertical route down the seam. They'll, based on what they see or what the route combination is, they'll defend the post route, the out route, what have you. The days of spot dropping zone play are dead, gone, forever. They're not coming back. Offenses are too sophisticated, they're too dynamic, and because of that, defenses have to employ, or at least the good defenses and the good defensive coaches like Nick Saban, for example, they employ pattern matching zone coverage techniques, which is basically man coverage within zone coverage. For example, if this tight end releases, before this guy would go into his curl flat area, he would jam this tight end, try to redirect him and funnel him toward the strength of the defense. Let's say I'm rotating my zone to the right here. He's going to want to funnel this tight end out and then, proceed to his responsibility, or funnel the tight end into the linebacker, and the linebacker will check him for, between 10 and 12 yards, or for passing him on deep. You don't have people covering grass anymore. But that's what happens at times in this game. I'm going to run a levels divide concept here. And you'll see how, we're just going to pay attention to how the defenders react. See, that actually wasn't that bad. Forget about the sack. We just want to look at how the defenders react. This linebacker, he picks his target. What we need to see, though, and this is the major flaw in zone coverage in this game. Let's go back. This linebacker cannot allow the free release down the seam. Yes, he has curl flat responsibility, but he has to disrupt this guy's release before he releases him to the seam defender, because it just opens up way too, large a gap. He needs to squeeze his route off and preferably funnel him inside to give this safety time to match the pattern and play him man-to-man, which he can afford to do because he has help deep here. There's no need for both of these guys to converge on one. This is where Read and React has to take the next step and evolve into giving us modern pattern matching zone coverage techniques. It'll prevent these big, giant, gaping holes in zone that are easy completions. You're always going to have a hole in a zone. The idea is to squeeze and make it as tight as possible, and if the ball gets completed, converge. So instead of being, a 12 to 15 yard completion here, it's maybe a 7 or 8 yard completion or less. Once he reroutes, then he can look to, chip this dude here and obstruct his path. But you can't just allow free release down the seams like this. I'll show you a couple of examples from gameplay in Madden and Ncaa to illustrate this point a little bit further. Alrighty, this is a online Dynasty head-to-head user versus user game. I'm Ncaa. I'm on defense. I'm running cover 4 out of the 4-2-5 over set. I'm showing blitz. I got good zone coverage. Corners on the outside who match up well athletically. You see everyone bails out. I have 4 deep. That's me in the pink circle, user controlling. I kind of wanted to bracket that slot guy for a little while before looking to see if anything was going to go to the deep curl flats. The slot safety does a decent job of obstructing his path. Linebacker dropping deep. And the deep safety in the middle flying deep. What I would prefer to see here, this is not terrible up to the point where the guy goes past. I'd like to see him turn his hips and run. He's a pink defender, but again, down and distance recognition. There's no flat threat. Continue to carry him until he reaches that deep safety. That's all right there. And the look confuses him enough where he holds the ball, and thanks to my defensive tackle going into complete beast mode and detonating 2 guys, I get a sack. So that's almost right. I would give that, I would give that between a 75% to 80% right. I think actually Ncaa does a better job because you can adjust your zone depth in the game plan menus based on situation, down, distance, and all that good stuff, which I wish would be in the Madden game. It just makes sense. You don't want to defend a long field the same way you do the red zone as far as zone depth. Here's my linebacker. I love what the safety does, opening up his hips and flying to the deep middle. I think that's what confused him. I think he thought that he was going to have easy pickings on 4 verts there. So you can see that the tools are there. The game shows that it has the ability to do it. It's just a matter of consistency and taking it to the next level, taking read and react to that next level to give us that pattern matching technique that you see in zone coverages now. I'll do videos like this for cover 3, cover 2, and man 1 as well. Hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you all later. Peace.